Hi, I'm Ken Jr. and welcome to Train World TV. Here you'll find the latest and greatest in model trains. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you're new to our channel, we're glad you're here, and I invite you to click the subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you'll never miss a video. Now, we'd also love to send you exclusive deals and special announcements that you won't find anywhere else. So be sure to sign up for our emails, TW Text, and stay connected with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Now, you can find all the links in the description box below or trainworld.com. And without further ado, enjoy today's video.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to Thomas Thursday. This is our first Thomas Thursday event because of all sorts of scheduling conflicts happening throughout the summer months, as always. But nevertheless, we are back for yet another action-packed event. As you know, guys, we had to cancel last month's event because of some scheduling conflicts. But that's why we are here with not one, but two guests this evening to showcase their models, their love for Thomas, and much, much more. So, before I even mention anything else, Ken is back. Ken from Train World is here. He is in the flesh. We need to give a round of applause for the king because he has returned.
Well, for a short moment, I'm not sure if I could stay the whole night, but I know everybody is in great hands with Christian and our regular season Doug, who's always on with us. So I know the annual monthly event is in good hands. So looking forward to tonight, and I saw a lot of excitement on the chats, Christian. Twitter was like blowing up. I don't know what you've been promoting or saying, but the fandom has gone wild.
That's what I do, Ken. You know, whenever I'm got time, I go online and I find what I can find, and that's just what happens. So, how is the baby, Ken? You recently had a baby. How is she?
She is great. If we do hear some crying, I'm gonna have to run real quick. But we are excited to have Ben and on tonight as well, and we also had some guests that stopped by the store, and as well as Bachmann, I believe, as well.
That's right. So, in addition, Thomas J219, aka John, Ben, Railway Roundhouse, how are you guys doing this evening?
John, would you like to go first?
No, go ahead, Ben. And how are you, by the way? It's nice to meet you, sort of.
Nice to meet you too. I'm doing really well. Hello, everyone. I'm Railway Roundhouse. Well, I'm very, very, very excited to see what everyone's got to show tonight. Doug, the announcements, the figurines, they look fantastic. It's going to be awesome to see them properly as well. John, massive fan. Christian, you as well. I hope you all like what I've got to show, and yeah, let's have a good one.
Awesome, thank you so much. And you're from across the sea in the UK, where it's currently 11 p.m. if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's currently 11 p.m. and it's raining like crazy, so I have any connection issues. So yeah.
Awesome. And how are things in Philadelphia, John?
Pretty good. This is a special stream for me because Ben mentioned he's very kind to say he was a fan because I haven't produced anything in a very long time. The first video I put out was 2007, And then I produced kind of regularly, like at least one a year until like 2009. Then I moved. But I'm actually in the place where I shot all those videos, and so I have all the stuff that I had when I was a kid. So it's a special little stream for me. I can show you guys some of my new stuff, some of my old stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And as always, the man of the hour, he's here with the reveals. Doug Blaine from Bachmann Trains. How are you this evening?
Absolutely wonderful. Great to be with everyone, and looking forward to what I have to share, and looking forward to what Ben and John have to share as well. So I think it's going to be a great evening.
That's what I'm
Fantastic.
looking forward to the most personally.
And it's a lot of reveals this evening, both bigger and smaller. So we'll just have to be...
All the same scale, though.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So John, Ben, have a preference on who would like to go first?
John, if you'd like to, I'm more than happy.
No, Ben, you go first. I have a feeling you have more to show than I do, so you go ahead.
All right then.
All right, let's do it.
Where would you like to start?
We'll start with how you got into it, man. Where did it all begin?
Oh wow. Right. So my memory is very vague. Apparently, this is from the my mother. I was about 1 year old at the time, and one day she decided to put on the telly, and what should come on but Thomas the Tank Engine. I could be very, very wrong. I believe the episode itself was Thomas's Train, or A Big Day for Thomas, and I think that's when the hook sort of snagged, and I've been, in love with it ever since. I joined like the Thomas fandom around 2017, but I was aware of it prior to that. And since then, it's just been high after high after high. I've met so many fantastic people, the creativity and love behind everything that everyone does. It's fantastic. It goes to show that this thing, it's going to go on very well forever. And that just feels really, really special.
It's amazing. And after all these years, now as a young adult, what has kept you attached?
For me personally, the history behind the stories themselves. All the stories, all the engines in the stories are based off real things that we can today, be it a character, be it a whole railway, be it an instant. An engine falls into a ditch, it happened. An engine falls down a mine, that happened. That draw to real life is what kept me invested, the characters themselves. As ironic as it is to say, because they're a bunch of talking trains with faces, I personally have learned a lot of life lessons from that, and it's helped me grow as a person. And as I said, there's so many fantastic people to get to know and meet within that circle. I myself, I've recently started volunteering at the Flynn Railway in Wales, and it's just been amazing to be around such awesome people, to be in that environment. It's fantastic. I can't wait to see what happens in the future.
Fantastic. So, with that said, there's tons and tons of custom models that you have, many of which are based on the Bachmann models.
Yeah.
Where shall we begin with that?
If going off my memory here, if we go from the first one done to the latest one done, we should be able to work it like that.
Ben, on the railway, the Flynn railway that you work at, is it open to the public? Can visitors attend? And what days would it be open? Should they call ahead?
It's open most of the year.
Cool.
I would recommend double checking on their website, which is always open and always running. I'd recommend getting all the information for that on there. But it's always open. It's very friendly. You're guaranteed a good time. So by all means, check it out.
No diesels in there.
Maybe one or two.
That's good. Very, very cool.
Yeah. All right. So, the first one to start off with is Henry the Green Engine. You all see that, okay? Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yes.
So, Henry was the first one I finished. Proved as troublesome as the character itself. My first time properly detailing a model. The changes I've done to the model, I've just small things. I personally I adore the Bachmann models as they come, so I try to keep the changes as minimal as possible. But what I've done with Henry here, I've added. I don't know if you can see, there's a little driver, the engine inside. The model has been sprayed in a matte finish to give it a sort of realistic steam engine-y, grimy look or feel. The faces are custom. There's several different ones. Just to change them in amount. Right now he's a bit grumpy. Some added lamps, just little detail bits to bring the model even more to life. So, yeah, they all run fantastically well. They're all made brilliantly. I mean, it's like having like the props themselves right in front of you almost. So,
Really?
yeah, that's Henry. Let's have a look. I think my second good this old fella. You all know him, Edward. Good old Edward. So Edward is my favourite character, along with Thomas. He was very stressful to get completed. Being a favourite, felt very held to get this one right. And yeah, I feel like when you have like a favourite character, I don't know if Christian or John, you might agree. You're very compelled to like try your bring your absolute A game to that character.
Yeah.
You know, you want to give it justice. With Edward, I feel like I have. I mean,
It looks like you have.
yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
And with your favorite character, you're going to notice every little thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's ridiculous. Like even like the tiniest speck on like lining or something, sets you off, and you're like, no, you've got to do it over again. But no, thankfully, I haven't had any issues like that with these mods. Yeah, just like Henry, Edward also has a crew. You can't have an engine without a crew. So he's got a driving fireman that's sitting tender here.
I love how you say that so seriously.
Well,
it's not even a joke. It's like you don't have a tender without a crew.
This is serious stuff, Ken.
Yeah, I know.
Well, yeah, you never know what can happen on the railways. It's best to have someone up there. Edward, again, like Henry, he had the same features. He had these really nice, I think they're called screw links. I think they're
Screw link
called.
couplings, yeah.
That's it, yeah. I put them on most of all the engines because I like the look, and I think the props themselves had those features as well, so it brings them closer to that as well. All the engines, like Henry, Edward has matte finish. It protects the lining, keeps it from getting scratched or anything, and it gives the model this nice sort of realistic look that you probably see on a steam engine today. Once again, the faces are custom. They all have different expressions. I have a couple here I might show later on, but yeah, that's Edward.
Are the faces something you've done yourself, or you've purchased them elsewhere?
I purchased the faces and then I paint them myself. And
Nicely done.
Yeah, thank you. The eyes are they're a mix. Some faces are held in place with blue tack, and the eyes themselves are like small pellets. The sizes are different, adjusting to each engine. For example, a Gordon Henry face would have 8mm, and Thomas and Percy would probably have around 6mm. Edward himself, these are actually the Bachmann eyes. I try to salvage everything I can when I'm working on a model, as well as not trying to change too much. So, yeah, that's Edward.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Christian and I were talking about, we call them BBs here, and we were talking about we were talking about, because I think I have 4 and 6s for the smaller engines and the bigger engines respectively, but I might have to go up to 8.
Yeah, 8's really good for engines. I'd say Gordon, Henry, and James. I found the 8mm ones work really well for them.
Okay, nice.
But the Bachmann eyes, I think are my favourite. They have that really nice finish to them.
They do.
Yeah, so I like to use those whenever I can. Okay, what about that? I don't think these two have actually. I haven't showed these two off before. I haven't revealed them. Trouble and More Trouble, Bill and Ben. Once again, same as Edwards, they have their own faces.
Wow.
Deep ones, probably plotting. We've got matte finish once again to protect the models and give them that look. Because I use the 3-link couplings for the engines, I obviously have to remove the couplings they come with. I'm trying to think what they're actually called.
Hook and loop.
Hook and loop. Yeah.
Yeah. So I remove the hook and loop couplers and I keep them safely in a container should I need to use them again.
How did you make the front so clean? You had to add that, right?
Oh yeah, that's just from an old birthday card. I cut that accordingly.
Get out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That looks fantastic.
Yeah, it looks okay.
Maybe it's just further away. It looks better, but it looks really good from this angle, man.
Yeah. Try and get.
You can't tell that there's a hole there at all in the front.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm quite happy with these. I've always
they
felt
look
like
fantastic.
Yeah, I'm glad I managed to get those done.
Christian, you did that to your Bill and Ben too, right? You covered that hole.
Yes. But I used clay, which was very tedious, and then just sanded it as much as I could. But a birthday card, honestly, I think would have been the smarter thing to use, considering how much easier it is to cut and paste that. So
yeah,
very creative.
Yours is probably more accurate to the props themselves. So
it's always takeaways.
Yeah.
Win some, lose some, I suppose.
Yeah, totally. All right, the next one is honestly one of my favourites. This is Mavis, the diesel engine that works at the quarry. And honestly, this is one of my favourites from Bachmann.
Me too.
I was really, really happy when Mavis was coming to the line. Was it 2008?
That was it.
Yep. I've always liked the character. I've always personally felt she's very underrated. Just sort of forgotten by everyone. I felt it was a little bit sad. So I tried to give Mavis as much justice as I could. Like the others, she had matte finish. I don't think you can see it on here, but she does have slight weathering. Being an industrial engine and working in a grimy quarry, she'll probably get dirty over time. So I don't really know if you can see it, but there is a little bit hidden away somewhere. The face, this one is actually just the Bachmann one that we painted. So I like to, when I'm doing an engine, I like to choose a certain era of the show, which I like to base their appearance off. And that would go for the faces too. Depending on the era, the faces and their eyebrows, they sort of change shape. So with Mavis, this is based on her early Series 3 look. And it's like a mix between the Series 3 and the Series 6. For Season 6, the models have given a matte finish like these. And then you got the more Season 3-ish expressions with these here. Like with the other engines, she has the couplers on the front. Like Bill and Ben, she has the 3-link ones. I like to use these for engines that work in an industrial environment. So Bill and Ben, Salty, Mavis, they all utilize those. One thing I love about the model, when I got it, was all the details are already on here, like the back lamps here. I adored that. I thought that was fantastic. Where the hook and loop coupler was, that's been filled in, but unlike Ben and Ben, this is a molded piece that slots in, held in by black tack, and it's meant to sort of just be a part of the cow catcher at the front and back. So
Very nice.
yeah, I'm quite happy with this one. I've always liked Mavis, so again, like with Edward, it was sort of a goal to try and get that done properly.
Quick question, Ben. So you said you try and match the paces, or in particular eyebrows, to different series or time periods. Do all your models fit one particular time frame, or do you feel free to mix and match and just enjoy whatever season you like best for that particular character?
I'll say mix and match, but it's more because I'm not very. I would era, and if I try to do that for some reason it all goes wrong. So I could the first season for Gordon, that goes really well. Try it for Thomas, no. So I try to choose my ideal one whenever I can. When I've got an engine in front of me and I see like the eras in front of me on the computer, like choosing what one I want to choose, I'll try and go for my ideal option first. But if that doesn't work, I'll try and experiment and either mix and match or try and do it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I like it. A little freewheeling. I like it.
Yeah.
What would be your favorite Thomas, you think? Sorry.
My favorite Thomas?
Yeah, season-wise.
Oh, season. Right. I think ultimately I love season 4. That might be my favorite. However, that being said, that's only, for me personally, that's only a smidge better than Series 5 because I grew up.
Series 5 miles amazing.
When I was born, it was very Series 5, Magic Railroad, around that time.
Me too.
So, yeah, there was a lot of that.
There was a lot going on.
Yeah, definitely. And I think all the action-packed, like crashes, runaways, and all the ghost stuff in Series 5, that stuck with me. And I don't know. I think I love Series 4 the most. I think Series 5 is probably a very close second, if not love it just as much.
I have a very soft spot for Series 2 Thomas.
Series 2 is lovely. They're all they all have that one thing that makes them stand out from the others.
Yeah, it's so true.
Like one day you could be, if you're like lying in bed, you're not feeling too well, and you want to watch one. You might feel like, oh, I might watch season 4, might watch season 1. I like one for that 80s aesthetic.
So true.
Yeah. I could be wrong, but I believe the next one is this fella. Oh, Gordon. I apologise. He's not very happy today. He's never happy, but just like Edward and Henry, Big Blue. He's got driving fun in the cab. He's actually doing his work. He's shoveling coal. He's meant to be. Gordon, I love as a character. Always, I think when you're a kid, you sort of gravitate towards the big and the fast and the powerful characters, especially in Thomas. And I think Gordon's got a really nice character to him. He's very bossy, a bit rude, but I think when push comes to shove, he's a true gent. And I think that's what we should all sort of aspire to be, But we have.
You're a great narrator, Ben. I tell you.
Very good. Yes.
We have here, so he's got the head codes like the others. The lamps here. With Gordon. So I just saw the comment, Gordon's alive. Brilliant. The head codes here. So Gordon is an express engine, as we all know. So he has his head codes placed at either end of the buffer wheel. So let the signalman know along the line that he's an express and he has right of way. So, like with the others, he's got added details. He's got the screw link couplings. The buffers used to be silver. I don't know why I think it's been silver, but I think I eventually got bored and I went back to black. So, yeah, Gordon, like with all the others, he has custom faces. He's based specifically on his appearance during Series 1. So maybe not as accurate, but anyway. Matte finish. That's really more or less for Gordon. For the longest time, I got him as he was. He just stayed the way he was for a good 2 years until I thought, okay, well, it's probably best to be consistent with the others. So we'll try.
Before you go on to the next character, Ben, sorry to interrupt. I just gotta. You had me laughing there with the anger expression you had on Gordon.
I'm sorry.
One time, back when I was an undergrad student, one of my friends who was a mechanical engineering major, was very fascinated with actually the model work of the older show. We were watching some classic episodes just for fun one Friday night. And his inquiry was, why is Gordon always pissed? He asked me, why is Gordon always pissed? Because I showed him a better view for Gordon. I showed him, what was it, Gordon Takes a Dip or Off the Rails. I showed him, and then even like Bowled Out, which isn't even a Gordon episode. He just sees him in the shed there with that pissed expression that you had on your model. And he's like, why is Gordon always pissed? That was his inquiry to me. And, he said it with his accent because he was from, he was from China there too. So like it was fascinating of all things to say that was one of his primary inquiries. But I mean, it's true. If you think about it in the classic episodes, he is pissed a lot, right, John?
He is. I was gonna say, I love it that everybody has the angry face on Gordon. You don't have the angry face, but you have a face like everybody gives Gordon a different face that's like indignant and sticks with it because he's like that.
So, I like to think with his angry face, he's either a bit annoyed because Henry took the mick out of him one morning, or he's just working really hard to keep the timetable up and running. So, yeah, I think that's actually my favourite expression for that character. So, he just screams Gordon. It's like, it's Gordon. It's part of the charm.
It really does. That was the magic about Thomas, is you made stories. It encouraged you to not only build the trains, but to give them life in a way.
There was a really nice, like, I don't want to call it bond, lack of a better term. Like, you could, with the faces, there was like a sense of like familiarity almost.
Absolutely. I used to talk to my trains. Even when I was a teenager, I used to be like, all right, guys, see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
For real. Like, it's just the way it is.
Yeah. Still happens most nights, so.
Right? See?
Yeah.
It's true.
All right. Who's next? I believe after Gordon, we went a bit Great Western, and we brought Duck into the fold. Always loved Duck.
Great.
I can remember when Duck was first announcing facts and the utter hype that was surrounding this.
It was unreal.
It was unreal. There had been hype before. Donald and Douglas, Bill and Ben in 2010. That was fantastic.
That's right. Donald and Douglas were before Duck. That was nuts.
Yeah.
And John, you'll have to tell everyone your story of calling Bachmann for years.
Oh, well, that's basically it. I used to call Bachmann for years when I was like 10, 11, 12, just like saying, like, please make Duck. Please. Please.
We got there for you, John.
I know. I appreciate it. It was great. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, man. That looks fantastic, by the way.
Well, that is probably one of the ones that's been debated on. So I think that's just a credit to Bachmann's part for doing such a quality job on it. I mean, I think the picture came out and everyone just instantly fell in love with it. And the actual model itself is fantastic. He's smooth as silk. He runs really well. He can pull a really nice amount. He's a great shunter. My layout is more of a shunting layout, so it needs a tank engine to move trucks about. So Duck's perfect for that. Like with the others, he has the matte spray to protect the Great Western lining. He has his own faces. I don't know if you guys might recognize this one. It's like
that's definitely, is that season 4, right? Or no?
But yeah, season 4, season 3. That sort of look. I remember the character the most from that sort of era, so I wanted to sort of model that.
It's his slightly smug face. I like it.
Yeah, it's like he's thinking of the time he mucked Diesel about or something.
Yeah. Does he waddle?
He used to waddle. He doesn't waddle anymore. He grew out of it, I suppose. But yeah, no, he's content, he's happy, he's just pushing one truck there, one truck over there. So yeah, that's really it for him. He's not that much different from the base model you get from Bachmann Online, and again, I think that's just a testament to how well the model is made. So
Doug, you got a request to make the shaving cream beard duck.
oh, is that?
I'll have to check that one. I don't know what that is, so I got to check that one out.
There was an episode. Go ahead.
He crashed into a building, and the barber he gets all annoyed. He's like, "How dare you ruin my business?" He covers his mouth in shaving cream to teach him a lesson.
It's a very interesting form of revenge.
Yeah. I suppose it's like a variant. Think of the Batman James, the Busy Bee James.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely. And it'd be easier. It's just a face.
Variant. He's having a shave.
All right. We'll check it out. Thank you.
Right, who's next? I believe.
And they have done Duck, close shave for Duck, even in the newer merchandise era. I was actually very surprised at that. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, no, I was surprised to see that. They did a lot of stuff. Like merchandise.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, next. These are actually quite recent in terms of completion. So these are the Batman Ari and Bert, but they have been weathered to beyond and back. It's a little bit grimy, a little bit mean, but they look cool. I really like them. I've always really liked Ari and Bert. They always struck me as like the Grim Reapers. You stay away. When you're the scrapyard, you go there and you get out. You don't want to meet these two.
Their Series 5 appearances were, or maybe it was a pure appearance, but they were amazing.
I adore that. It the level of. Okay, well, let's not see you again. You're a bit.
Ben, you broke up there. I don't think did you guys hear what he said?
Oh, sorry. I'm just saying. You get the vibe from them. You stay away. Just smile and wave.
You do.
I can't really tell who's which. I had labels on them years ago, but I think they fell off. So here's one of the twins. Again, they have their own faces. These are quite fun to do because both twins have stubble, and so it's quite. I don't know if you can see right here. They have very little bits of stubble over their mouths, which was quite fun to do. It looked quite satisfying once it was done. And then because of the industry they work in, smelter's yard, there's a lot of grime, there's a lot of smoke and smut. So obviously both engines get very dirty over time, especially with like yellow paint. So where colours are a bit more brighter, I've tried to put more weather in there. So yeah. Both engines have the screw link couplings, very small ones here, and their side rods, just for fun. I quite like Bachmann Diesel and his side rods, so I thought, what would they look like with the same look? So they've got silver, and yeah, that's really it for them. I'll quickly show you the other one's face.
I think the addition of grime is definitely appropriate for those two.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Do the screw link couplers? They're not cosmetic. They're working, correct?
These ones, yeah, technically they are working. I feel they function better when they're just cosmetic. The other ones,
yeah.
I have a little. I haven't got it with me at the moment, unfortunately, but I've got a little what I call shunters pump. Basically,
I love that.
Yeah, it's a thin, circular bit of wood with a little hole drilled into it and a paper clip just bent just right, so you can like get in there and hook a truck up to the other and uncouple.
That's real. I was actually gonna buy one of them because for the first time I had.
They'll fit. That's how I did mine. I think I did mine actually. Yeah, we had like a stand. So I stacked a bit of balsa wood and then went from there, and it's served me very well ever since.
Do you find, because I have it in large scale, because large scale is a little easier, do you get buffer lock?
I do with some of them. I really wish I brought it up with me. I have this wagon I use on my layout. It's the shunters truck, and because that's got really big buffers, that helps a lot when I'm trying to move a rake of coal wagons to another line. So
You'll like use it as a spacer almost.
yeah, like it's cool because I can use it as a spacer. It helps prevent any derailments, and it also is something they use in real life. And I love trying to implement that into the layout. As much as he probably will hate me saying this, Gordon is probably the best one when it comes to shunting because his buffers have like an oval shape.
Wide, yeah.
Yeah, and so that just prevents buffer locking entirely, which is a godsend, but Gordon wouldn't like to hear it, so...
He wouldn't want to be shunted.
All right, so up next, we've got... I'll do one of them each, because they're a bit long. We've got Donald and Douglas. Here we got Douglas, number 10.
Wow.
So when I was younger, you mentioned Series 2 earlier, I loved their debut story, Breakdown, which, as a matter of fact, Bachmann have made a fantastic model of the Spiteful Breakdown that I highly recommend getting.
Yes, he's fantastic.
That story introduced twins to the Fat Controllers Railway, and of course, he wasn't too happy to receive one more engine than what he ordered. So, after a couple of mishaps, he finally accepts him as part of the family. However, during that time, both engines had their numbers, but they didn't have nameplates. So, to be a bit different, I took the nameplates off. They're stored away somewhere safely. And the twins are modelled after their appearance when they first arrived on the railway on trial. So I don't know if you can see here, you can sort of see where the nameplates were.
Were they separate pieces? How did you get them off?
They were separate pieces. I had to really, really carefully use a pair of rail cutters to sort of just pry them off without damaging the actual piece itself.
See, I'd love to move them forward to where they were in Series 2, up at the front.
Yeah, I'd like to do that maybe in the future.
Do you think that would be difficult?
Difficult in the sense that you're worried about breaking the model, but in actually moving it, yeah, it was absolutely fine.
Okay.
The pieces, like, they're connected in a way that it's not connected too loosely that it will fall off, but not connected too securely, so you place it if needed.
Okay.
So,
gotcha.
Yeah. Like the others, matte finish, gives them that look, which I really like. The areas where the nameplates were, there were little holes there. So what I did, I got some modelling putty and smeared it over really carefully. And once that's settled, I painted it over in a normal DIY black paint, and the matte spray sort of did the rest in terms of sealing it in. Like the others, they have the couplings, the screw links. I've changed the look of the brake pipe on these two. I kind of prefer this look where it's pointed downwards.
I like that.
Yeah, I really like that. I don't know why. It's just a look I really like. They only have one face each, but I've tried to make it capture the character as best as possible. So we've got Douglas, who's a bit shifty. He's not entirely comfortable with the situation, so we'll put him down. Just very quickly, both tenders are the same, bar the numbers, but it's the same sort of deal here. So it's the screw link coupling on the back with the matte spray, and on the tenders where there's space, I've included a driver environment, so they have crews as well.
Very nice.
Very, very quickly, here I'm taking up too much time. I apologise. We've got Donald here. He's not happy at all. He's very cross.
That looks good though.
Yeah, I really like this one. Didn't like the face when I was younger, but I like it now. So, yeah, both twins, fantastic models. Probably there was a long period of time I didn't really do anything with them because I just adored the way they came and was very hesitant on doing anything with them. But like with Gordon, I really wanted to just be consistent with the look that the engines had. So I did eventually get to work on these, and I'm really relieved it all went okay, because these are really good pieces, and well, yeah, they're Donald and Douglas. Who doesn't love them? So them. How are we doing for time, by the way? I'm not taking up too much, am I?
I don't think so.
I think we're doing okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
A few more to go.
Got a couple more, yeah.
Okay. And then I'll showcase that video as the grand finale that you sent over.
He's got 500 more.
Right, after that, we've got what I really like, Splendid Red, James the Red Engine.
Wow.
This is the newer version of the model. So being in the UK, Bachmann now have some of the engines readily available to buy in stores. What I found quite interesting is that some of them have changes compared to the normal model. Oh dear, something just fell off. We'll just ignore that.
It happens. We know that happens.
Yeah.
So, for example, I noticed that the tender lining, it's a lot higher on this one as it is on the standard model at the time. And then also along with that, the smokebox saddle here, that was painted black, and the wheels are a bit darker too, it was just little things that I picked up and I thought was really cool. This is really recent, actually. I think this is actually the most recent one I've completed. Like with all the engines, it's got its own faces. For some reason, I always adored James in Thomas and the Magic Railroad. I love the look of the prop. I love the character. I really wanted to do it justice and model it off that specifically. So, bearing that in mind, he has some new features. The top bit was sanded down and now has a separate whistle piece, which is made of brass.
Very nice.
Yeah, I'm really happy with that. The faces already. Again, it's the same sort of thing you get with the others, like the standard, just detail, like part replacements, added bits like the lamps and the screw links here. I painted the interior black because I like that look.
Yeah.
Put him down for a second. Just a quick look at the tender. Apologies, he's been a bit roughhousing with his trucks lately, so I think a buffer's come off. So, yeah. He's got his driving fireman stood here, ready for duty. So, yeah, that's James. That's probably my most recent one. We've got two more. So, this little fella, he's not really done yet. I haven't done the matte finish, but thought I'd include him anyway because we all love him. It's good old Percy, little green caterpillar. I really like this model. It runs really, really well. It's really strong. It's quite a light model, but so I was really surprised when it was able to like pull 10 coal trucks up a straight. I was like, okay. Even Gordon struggles with that one.
More than what meets the eye.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, don't judge it by its size. So from Percy onwards, I wanted to try something different. I use the lampines from spare models I've had in the past for the engines, but lately I've started to run out, so I need to sort of find an alternative way of doing it. So what I've done, I've got the Bachmann track pins you can get, and what I've done, I've snipped them down to size, sanded the tops, and then spray painted them black. And I just glued them here. I don't know if you can see, just here and here. Yeah,
Wow.
they're just ready to make lampines, and I'm really happy with the way they came out. So it provides like an almost unlimited source of lampines, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, like James, he's got a brass whistle. I'm really happy with that. On the back, he's got a new lamp. I gave him a Bachmann Thomas lamp with the red circle. I always remember Percy in stories traveling at night time with the mail train or
Yeah.
trucks. So I figured, well, he'd probably have a light to lighten the way up. The model didn't have a coupling, a dummy hook on the back. So what I did instead, I got a Dremel tool and very carefully made a hole where the dummy hook probably would be, enlarged it slightly, and then added a screw link. So it's consistent with the back and the front. Like the others, he's got his own faces. He's very tired. It's really late for him. He's usually asleep at this point, so
That
I
looks
should probably
wonderful, that face.
Right, and last of all, I might have to correct myself. James probably wasn't the latest. This is probably the latest I've finished. The man himself, Thomas the Tank Engine.
Thomas.
Yeah, this was probably not the specific model. The Bachmann Thomas was my first ever from Bachmann, and I think as soon as I got it in the post, I instantly fell in love with it. Being at a young age with a Bachmann Thomas, I'm sorry to say he didn't really last long. Having the mindset of it being a Trackmaster toy, figured he could go round and round, crashing into buffers and whatnot. So suffice to say, he wasn't in a great state by the next year. So this is the recent model finished. As I said, I think I said earlier, Thomas is one of my favourites. Again, like with Edward, really, really, really wants to do him justice, and that includes basically everything. So Thomas, I left till last intentionally because I wanted to take everything I've learned from every engine you've seen today and apply it to this model. So it's done as best as I can probably do it. Again, like with the others, it's got matte spray to protect the model from any sort of accidents that may happen. Between the splasher and the side tank, I painted that black so it gives the illusion that it's the splasher is a separate piece, like on the GC.
I was going to say, how did you do that so well? It looks fantastic.
Lots and lots and lots of trial and error. I used a really, really fine tip black pen, and I first used trim tape to hide the edges so I didn't accidentally get them off the tank, and then filled in the excess space with a black felt tip, and when the matte spray is applied, that's sealed in so it can't rub off.
Goodness, that's really good.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it.
I wouldn't have been surprised if you said you actually cut it. That's how good it looks.
I've seen people try to do that. Maybe one day, not with this one, but maybe one day. Never say never. Because it's all Model Railway is all about learning what you can do later on with future projects. So applying that to something in the future, maybe. I don't know. I personally, I really love his face. This is my favourite of the top faces.
Great.
He's got a little blush. He's been working really hard. He's been picking up Percy's slack. So he's had to work overtime, poor lad. But he's happy about it.
Now, what season is that face? Season 4?
I'm going to say season 5. The season 4 teeth, they're a little bit thinner compared to the season 5 one. That's the teeth in that mask. In the 5th season, it's all filled out. So to make things a little bit easier on myself, and because I love season 5, I went for that look. The model itself is intended to be like a sort of blend between season 5, i.e. the face, and then season 4 with the light blue shade. Again, with no backlining. I like the backlining. I personally don't really mind whether or not it's on the model.
I've thought about adding the backlining.
I like it on the green Thomas Bachmann do. I love it on that. I keep it on that. Well, I would if I had one, but for the base model himself, because I grew up around a certain era, I like to base Thomas around that era.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like a sort of memento of that, I suppose.
And I'm not nuts, but when you do those things to the front, he almost looks bigger. Like the Bachmann Thomas, I don't know what it is. His face, I think, it's a little small. When you just make that one alteration, he looks so much it's a good thing. He looks more in proportion. I don't know what it is, but maybe the face sticks out more.
I think I see. Yeah, I think I see what you mean. Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah.
I've done some more mods than the others. He's probably been the most modded so far. I've shortened the buffer beam length a little bit, just to be that little bit more, in line with his prop. Again, like with Percy, he has the track pin idea for the lamp irons. I really like the ones on him, actually. I think they came out a bit better. The lamp, so Thomas's lamp was taken off. That's being used on something. The lamp itself is a sort of mold I got printed, and that serves as his and his alone. It's his special lamp. Buffers again, swapped them out for different ones. I think these might be brass. I can't tell you. I did these long before I actually did the model itself. Again, like with the others, he's got a screw link at the front. Like with James and Percy, Thomas has brass bristles. Just lodged in there gently. What else? You can't. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but to cover up back here on the bunker, Thomas has some light weathering, just to show where coal probably would have been spilled when he's being refueled. Again, on the back, he's got the back lamp that comes with the stamped model. It's been lowered slightly. It came off when I was making it, so I had to put it back on. So that's probably the reason there. And yeah, another screw link at the back. And yeah, that's Thomas the Tank Engine.
Fantastic. And I was just going to say before, with that face being based on season 5, whenever I look at that face, I don't know what it is, but I always see that one scene from, what was it, Thomas and the Rumors, where they transition towards the end. And what was it? The special visitor was like, Stan, John, you know this too, right? Stan we found by accident, you might say. And then it's like, do 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 with the spinning eyes.
I would absolutely love to find a way to make guys spin like that on the model.
Yeah.
Like the
and
way,
I gotta tell you,
it goes side to side, but the spinning, that would be so fun.
Right. And the genius of Mike and Jr. and just those older seasons in general, what I love is that the music transition, and John, we've talked about this in the past through calls, it's perfectly in time with what you're seeing on screen, as they transition, the do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, like you hear that music as he's spinning his eyes, and then it transitions to the last scene. And again, it's little things like that that really make the show fascinating, in my opinion.
I think it gives it that sort of magic almost.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
Very nice. Right. Beautiful stuff, man.
Thank you. Yeah. That's more or less what I've got today. So
fantastic.
And then
we got one more thing, right? Your video.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, I haven't got a layout right now, but I've sent a video to Christian of my layout in action. So
all right. Can everyone see?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Great.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Nice.
I love those shots. You got right down there. They looked amazing, especially that shot of Gordon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty happy with that.
I think what I liked about the video, especially, was that it highlighted, your vision for what you did and showed us for all your locomotives, all the engines. It's like a clear, consistent vision, and it really shows in the video how it all comes together with a unified look. Really well done.
Great job, Ben.
Yeah, really great job. And could everyone hear the audio, by the way, in the video?
Yeah.
Okay, good. 'Cause that's a key
Great
component.
music. That was. I don't think I've ever heard that particular composition of that piece. It was a little longer. I really like that.
That was done by a user called SA Music. He does a lot of Thomas Tank Engine covers as well as original covers. If you haven't already, I highly recommend if you check his work out. It's fantastic. Even just to listen to, if you're just relaxing, it's probably the best there is. So definitely check his work.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, John, you ready?
My turn. Absolutely. I'm not gonna. Like I said, I'm not gonna keep you guys anywhere near as long. I know everybody wants to get to Stanley. I'm actually gonna show a few things that Christian was kind enough to bring back for me from Japan, which is really interesting merchandise that's actually not available here. So first, he got me a nice pack of Thomas playing cards.
Cool.
Which is very, very cool. This is, Christian, you'll have to help me out and tell me what some of them are. This is a pack of character cards. They're a little different. Christian, you want to explain them?
Yeah. They're essentially character cards, like John said, but they come in multiple...
Like halves,
exactly. So one card will just be the front of Thomas, and the other will be the back. And it's like a mixing matching kind of thing, just for fun. So. Oh, your camera went out, John.
Lose him. John?
Uh-oh.
Japan is turning him off.
Yeah. All right,
Lost
there he
you
is. He's
for a
back.
second there.
Hey.
You hear me?
Yeah.
You broke the internet with all the
You guys
Thomas
hear me
cards.
or no?
Yeah.
Too much power.
I can't hear you for some reason.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Let's do
Try
the
something here. All right, I'm just going
raffle
to talk
in the-
because there's no time to fix it, and then I'll just log back into the stream after. But you guys can hear me, right?
Yeah. We
Okay,
can
cool.
see and hear.
So yeah, here's the one half with Thomas on the back, and here's the other half that I still have in the box. So it's the whole pack, and then you can see like Hero on the end. It's a very cool little thing, I think. Christian, you found them, I'm assuming in some shop, right?
Yeah. And I was surprised they still had that, because that's like over a decade old now.
And they're trying to see when you talk because I can't hear you now. There was
Sorry.
Do you want to tell them maybe about how the shop changed because there was so much old stuff there the first time?
Oh, absolutely, sure. Sorry, so I'm not sure if John can hear me, but for those of you who can hear me, Ben, you guys can hear me, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so no, just the shop has evolved significantly. Back in the day, they had loads and loads of Thomas merch, from cards to books to, quality merch. And it's not that they don't have it today, but it's changed drastically. And I do hope that at some point they'll have a resurgence, because it's fun sometimes when you go in and you see that older stuff from the older days. You get lucky essentially sometimes. And when I picked that up, I was like, yeah, I knew John would like this. And there you go.
Yeah, it takes you back.
I would have
It's-
loved to have been
You
able to
look
get
at-
to Japan when Thomas was like in his classic days. That really would have been amazing. This I have. I'm not quite sure what this is. This is blocking the thing there. Christian, you can explain this as well. This seems like a storybook, probably based on the Big World, Big Adventures era, but it's it's completely in Japanese.
Yeah, that's right. Just so I understand, John, you still can't hear me? Or can you hear me?
I'm not sure what you're saying.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so basically the book is probably what Big World, Big Adventures would have done had they continued on to Japan. And what you have in there are old Japanese steam locomotives from the Kyoto Railway Museum, as well as Hero and Kenji and some of the later characters that you remember seeing from that era. But maybe, no, we won't do that because you can't hear me. But that's essentially what the book is for those of you who are curious. It's a Japan exclusive. Check out online if you would like to get one for yourself.
Very cool.
Good. Okay. This is a Thomas Land notebook. That's Christian actually got lucky enough to see Thomas Land before they change it, and there's a lot of changes going on there right now. Christian, you want to tell about that?
Oh man, I mean, I don't want to turn this into like a sort of a negative connotation stream, but yeah, they're evolving it into the new 2D animation thing that they're, the show has become. But times change, I suppose, and if there's some young kids who are into that, then all the power to them. But I definitely prefer like a lot of the older rides that they had, at least from when I was a kid. Thankfully, some of them I think will be staying, so it's not all going away from what I understand. But here's hoping that Thomas will still be able to be just as popular as it has been in the past decades.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
Old rides.
So I can hear you, Ben. That's so weird. I'm sorry. I just couldn't hear anything before.
Oh, okay. With the old rides that have been taken down and replaced, what else we have? They go storage or they, scrapped?
Oh, sorry. One more time. I couldn't really hear the middle of your sentence there.
I was just wondering what happens to the rides once they're replaced. Would they go into some sort of storage or something?
Are they scrapped? I was wondering the same thing, Ben, because it's a shame, especially if All Engines Go doesn't have the longevity maybe of the original show. It would be a shame to just throw them away, and I really hope that they're smart enough to know that and they keep them. I think they will.
Yeah, I'd hope so, but
what do you think, Christian?
They'll probably put them in storage. I mean, knowing how Japanese people are, me being half myself, they're probably going to keep it somewhere safe. They're not going to just chuck it out like that. So.
All good. Sorry, I interrupted.
Okay, it's so strange to me that I can hear you but not Christian or any. Doug or Ken, could you guys say something just so I can see if I can hear you guys?
Yep. Can you hear me?
I can't hear anybody except Ben. That's so strange. That's all right. We'll just keep going. Okay. I think that's probably the last thing. Oh, no, there's one more that Christian grabbed. It was this Thomas Land packet. This is the last of the stationary kind of thing. It's just like a pencils and an eraser and a ruler. But this was the thing that I was really, really excited about. I don't know if you guys are familiar with these. These are from what would you call them? Like vending machine? Not vending machines, but I guess gumball machines in a way.
Capsule playground, is that the one?
Sort of, but these are a little different. I'm going to put you guys down for 1 second because I don't want to break this. So I'll pick it up. These are Christian, I don't know what they're called there, but these are so cool. This is a little sculpture of the opening scene.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Right?
Really cool.
Isn't it amazing? The craftsmanship, the windmill, everything is so. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to try and switch cameras here so I can.
And that came in that blue sphere.
Yeah.
There's lots of options here.
Wow.
There we go.
That's a nice scene, just like
just even the little cloud figure. It's really beautiful. I really, really enjoyed that. I'll show you guys one more. Christian was kind enough to get me two. Let me put this one back in the box. The other one, Christian, while I'm doing that, why don't you tell them what the other scenes are?
Yeah, sure. So these are classic scenes from the older seasons. Obviously, that's the iconic season 1 intro scene by the windmill. There was one of Henry inside the tunnel with his sad expression when he was bricked up, also from season 1.
And Ben, since I can hear you, let me know when he's done.
Okay. Yeah, Ben, just tell John I'll give him a thumbs up when I'm ready, if you can.
John, he'll give you a thumbs up.
Okay, I can't see him at the moment only because I'm switching my camera to the back again. But right. This is the other one.
Yeah.
That's it. There we go. Look at that.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
It's sad. He's just stuck in there.
Yeah. The only thing he's missing, and I noticed because I'm weird, is his funnel. So it looks like he's just a little
Oh.
gray head, which was very cool. I really enjoyed these.
Yeah.
I'll show you one last thing. These are also from. Oh, here, I may as well show you this so that way you guys can see the rest of them. These are the other three rather in the line. 1 second, excuse me. So here, this is the. Why is it there? This is the first one that I showed you.
Oh yeah.
This is the second. This is a third. It's James from, I believe, a season 9 episode.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that Snow?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
James.
From
They
that
tell you what
Hit
they
Era
are in the
episode.
back. James
Yeah.
goes too far. Obviously, the opening. Come out, Henry. We also have. They're really cool, aren't they?
Yeah.
This we have here. We have. I believe it's 2 pieces. It's a Topham Hat figure and a very. I'm trying to get it in focus there. A very, very small Tidmouth sheds with, it looks like, Edward and Emily in there. And you can see the engines just gathered there. Tidmouth sheds for Topham Hat. And this one is, I believe, a big day for Thomas. Yes, a big day for Thomas. Just him at the crossing.
That's incredible.
Right? They're amazing. They're such really interesting interesting merchandise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And frankly, it's
Let
the
me
kind of
grab
thing
the
Mattel
one
should
more
be.
thing.
Yeah, sorry, but it's the kind of thing Mattel should be doing
So
too.
these, Christian grabbed me 3 of these. These are, if you guys know, I don't know what the name of these are, but they were produced. There was a few of them made, each with a different classic face. And they're actually, if you guys want to know, they are Bachmann Thomas size.
Huh. Those look like the Thomas minis. That,
Very cool. And to save time, I'll just show you the rest of the line here on this thing here.
Do they still make the Thomas minis?
So we have Thomas in his, I guess you would call that his frustrated, grumpy face,
Cool.
his tired face, his other grumpy. I love that one as well. I have that one. Christian grabbed one of them, and his accident, I guess, face, and his tired face.
Cool.
And they all fit the Bachmann Thomas. So if you guys want to grab them and use them as alternates, I think that's a great idea.
Cool.
Yeah.
So the last thing I want to show is just maybe there's like 1 or 2 other things I can drag out, but I was actually lucky enough because I am in Philadelphia. Bachmann Industries is here, and I was having problems with my Daisy model, and Doug very kindly fixed it for me in an unbelievably timely manner. So I have it here, and this is kind of her. I ran her for a moment, but this is her first real run, so I figured I'd show you guys that. I just set up a little test track here,
Cool.
and
Cool.
so here she comes, and she's so smooth. Like, she really is, and she's so smooth. I was wondering because when I first got her, I got her about a year ago. She was she was very loud when she came out of the box, and I was surprised. And Christian was here actually, and I asked him, "Was that normal?" And he's like, "No, it's not normal." So I didn't have time last time, but luckily I was able to get it fixed. Oh, I think you guys will like this as well. Christian, you remember? Unfortunately, I never remember names. This is a silver. You can see you can see the difference in the colors from the wheels, but this is a silver accurate Spencer that I purchased from a very talented modeler.
Yeah, Brendan Reyes 10. If he's in the chat or watching, I mean, a lot of you guys probably know him too, but he's the one who made that custom. And John got his Spencer when he was selling it.
Yeah, Brendan does fantastic stuff.
Really,
So-
really, really good. The other things I have over here, I'm not going to waste you guys' time with. I just wanted to mention. I was really a big fan of the Clockwork line that Hornby did 20, 25 years ago, and I was able to track down an old stock. So I'll show you just a little picture of that. If you can see there, it's Thomas with Ben and Annie and Clara, and the Troublesome Trucks. And that's a set that was produced, I think, the late 90s or...
Yeah, late 90s. Then it came back with more characters around.
Yes.
Boyish.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was able to, with the red track. Yes, I was able to grab one of them, and I was really happy about that. But that's about it, guys. And the other thing was the Tommy Thomas Giant set with the. I'll just show you that real fast. It's just right here in the box.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
I used to have that. That's brilliant.
It's a great one. But I think that about does it for me.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Fantastic. Well,
Great job, John.
thanks so much for showing that, John. And for those of you who want to see more of John's acquisitions, we recently did a big live stream on my channel, Terrence the Tractor 525. So it's saved. You want to look at us opening up, I want to say it was like 45 packages, because this was apparently a whole year's worth of collecting that John did. Some Bachmann, some Hornby, just old merch in general. You can hear me?
I can hear you all of a sudden. Well, I'm glad I can.
Oh, okay. I'm just telling them about our unboxing live stream to check it out for more.
Yes, absolutely.
So, we did that, so definitely check out if you want to see 40 to 50 packages of Thomas merch.
That's awesome.
And to be clear, just for Ben's Daisy, we're happy to get it running again, but I did not fix it myself.
No, Doug didn't fix it himself, but he was able to get it done.
Our service department is terrific, and they did a great job getting it back up and running again very quickly. So happy to do that.
I thought we were going to pass out Doug's cell phone for all repairs.
All right, Ken. That's just a little crazy talk now.
No,
funny.
I'm just luckily in the area. I dropped it by the parts department. Doug was just able to, give me the guidance as to where to go and all that kind of stuff. But it was very nice of everybody.
Very cool.
Glad it's up and running again.
If you put the cell phone out there, Doug, you'll get loads of calls.
You cut out a little bit, Ben, but I think I'm getting piled on for a phone number there.
Well, if the number goes out there, you get loads of calls from people saying,
He's basically saying, like, if you were to get the phone number, you'd get 10 million calls saying
absolutely.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
All right, Christian. So that was great presentation by both John and Ben, and give it up for them in the chat. I mean, it's truly awesome stuff. And Christian, that's nice that you thought of John to get some cool Japanese Thomas stuff. That was wild. And Ben, your models are truly amazing. And hopefully the next time anyone's in London, they'll stop by the Talyllyn Railway. That would be pretty cool. And Christian, let's raffle off this Donald before we pass it off to Doug. I will warn people, it is an open package, so it was open to test run, but it is working. So we're going to raffle off Donald. And Christian, right before the show, was crunching the numbers on what kind of crazy question he could stump everyone with. So let's do a raffle for Donald. Put the answer in the chat with this where you're from, and we'll select the winner as usual, and we'll ship it off.
Fantastic. And here are the two questions, guys, if you're wondering. All right. The first question is, what are the 2 seasons from the model series that Donald and Douglas appeared but did not speak? And this includes deleted scenes. There were 2 seasons during the model era where they appeared, but they did not speak. Which were those 2 seasons? And then the second question, which is probably a little bit easier, is what was the last episode that they appeared in that is fully model? So this does not include season 12. This includes everything up to season 11. What was the last episode they appeared in during the model era? No CGI elements whatsoever.
Christian
Christian,
wants
yeah,
to be the as hard as possible, so now he's doing two-parters.
You know, I had the answer until he threw in the curveball with the deleted scenes. Now I'm all messed up. I can't do this. I'm sure those answers will be coming in.
Let's see.
They are.
Because
I'm seeing a lot
this
of correct ones, actually.
Because this is an educated crowd, that's for sure.
Fantastic. They're rolling in, Ken. You're seeing this, right?
I'm seeing a lot of right
Very
answers.
cool. Christian can't stump them. I don't know. They're all out there. Again, this is the Douglas Donald.
The way you're holding that, Ken, it looks like you got a nose ring going on there.
Yeah. Tempest Tony says, make someone happy. we raffle off a lot of good prizes. We always make people happy.
Absolutely. That's what Train World is all about.
That's it.
It is. I believe that was his guess, though. That's an episode title.
Oh yeah, that is the first.
Oh, okay.
Just so you know.
That's why I thought he was telling us to make.
No, that's what I
happy.
figured. I was like, it's not a suggestion.
Okay.
You guys make everybody happy. That's an episode title in season 5.
I apologize, Tony.
And you want to know something else, Ken? That was the first episode of Thomas I'd ever seen in my life.
Wow,
There you go.
that's true.
Right.
Very cool.
It's a great episode. It's a great VHS, too.
The series
little
5
toddler
the
me
series
sitting in
5
the stroller. Mama comes home, got the VHS tape, throw it in the machine. Oh, man, those were the days.
The series 5 VHSs were amazing.
They
I
were.
thought the very first American TV day, Races, Rescues, and Runaways. Yet to watch it. I'm really looking forward to it.
Races, Rescues, and Runaways?
Yeah, that's the one.
I think
That's
my
a great
favorite
game.
one is Spills and Chills.
Oh, I really
Great
want
one,
that.
too.
So good.
We could talk about these videos
Yeah.
all night long.
And while we're getting all these answers and responses, everybody's chiming in. Let's turn it over to Doug, because I know everybody has been waiting for tonight's moment. And
Yes, us included.
Don't forget, if you see something amazing from Doug and Bachmann Trains, make sure you take a screenshot of tonight and tag Bachmann, #Bachmann, and tag Train World, #Train World, tag us, and reshare what you saw tonight, because Doug always has something up his sleeve. So
And Ken, sorry to cut you off there, but Ken is back. We need to tweet that. Ken is back.
well,
Ken is back.
Ken, I thought
see.
you were gonna.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I thought you were gonna tell people to screenshot Christian's reactions.
Well, that too. Christian always has a good reaction, and we actually need a Christian face on one of these Thomas trains now with all his reactions and stuff. That would be cool. But
All right,
I
man.
know
I'll have to really fix up my hairstyle for this one, Ken.
that's right. That's right. Let me bring Doug over here. All right.
Oh boy.
All right, Christian, what would you like first, Stanley or figures?
Let's do Stanley. Actually, John, what do you think would be better?
I don't know, honestly. I think
All right,
I'm excited for them both.
All right, I'm gonna go Stanley, because that's what I've got up my sleeve.
I think that's what it is.
Something like that.
Whoa.
All right, no drum roll. Right out with Stanley. There he is.
All right. Everybody take the screenshots, tag Bachmann, tag Train World, and share this. That is wild.
That is beautiful.
So this is, an unpainted model. It's a first shot sample. I think the blue wheels will give things away as to what the drive mechanism is. We are using the Thomas drive mechanism, and so that makes it a little bit easier for us. And so just try and move them around a little bit so you can see some of the various details with the lighting. With a silver sample here, it flashes all over the place, but you get the idea.
Is the silver die cast?
No, this is just it's actually a paint over our first shot. So it is
Okay.
painted silver, but this is not the final paint. It just helps highlight, all the the molding in the first shot.
It looks beautiful.
All right, so we're coming around. There's his face.
It's brilliant.
Oh man, right now he looks like the Tin Man, Doug, from A Wizard
He
of Oz.
Yeah.
does.
Iron Man.
All
The
right.
face looks fantastic.
It does. Looks great.
Now the cab is is open. It does not have a fully detailed interior. We had to the floor had to be raised up for motor and gears, what have you. But it is an open cab. There's some very basic back head detailing in there, which is really tough to see. But
Oh, I'm sorry, Doug. Are the back windows open?
they are open.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Fantastic.
And Shining Time Productions is asking a release date for Stanley, approximate.
He should be here by fourth quarter this year. Don't hold me to it as usual, but fourth quarter he should be in stock
Wow.
at Train World.
That's
So-
amazing. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, John.
No, that's all I was going to say. That's amazing. I don't think we've ever had I don't want to jinx it, so it's maybe better I don't say it, but I don't think we've ever had he was announced like in February, right?
Last summer, I think.
Yeah, I think it was last
Okay, I was gonna say,
NMRA
that
announcement,
was
last
very
summer
quick.
announcements.
Yeah, it feels
So-
quick though, considering how fast time has been flying.
Yeah.
You know?
I apologize, Ken. Go ahead.
No, make sure you get your pre-order in, because if this is coming fourth quarter, it may be close to Christmas time. And usually on the pre-orders, like after we get our first batch in, we sell out. So you may have to wait for the second batch that comes in. So make sure you get your pre-orders in Christmas time. You're going to want to open up that nice present of Stanley, I'm sure.
Now, you may notice something missing from the cab roof of Stanley, and I don't know if I should mention it or not, but I'm already into it, so it's my fault. As John mentioned, we had a visit from John and Christian. It was the first time I ever met Christian in person, which was fantastic. So after Christian's trip to Japan, he and John made a trip to Bachmann in Philadelphia, which was wonderful. But I was carrying Stanley in my hand, and the whistle was loose, and I put my thumb on the whistle, and it stuck to my thumb and fell out on the driveway between our buildings. And bless them both, Christian and John were on their hands and knees looking for Stanley's whistle for me, and unfortunately, a minuscule black whistle on a black asphalt surface was not going to be an easy find, so it was not found. Christian, I don't know if you want to share. I sent you a text. I don't know if you can share that picture with the two of you in action.
Oh, the pictures.
So if you care to share it, please do. I don't know if you can get. I don't know if you can get that on screen or not, but
I'll try to flip my phone around.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'll tell you guys. You can't really see, of course, because of the webcam. His face is incredible. It's really, really nice.
he's got a little. Can't even see it. He's got a little dimple on his chin.
Mm-hmm. And the whistle was fantastic when it was there.
It still is fantastic. It's just somewhere else.
Yes.
Yeah. Ken, could you get me to center just for a sec, just so I can share my phone?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm gonna have to do this like a weird way, but I don't know if you guys can see that.
There they are.
But that's the two of us.
And it was an impossible task because that whistle is tiny. So, but it was a fun day and great to meet Christian and see John. So it was.
I'll show Another picture of the three of us with the Bachmann logo right behind us. If I can find it. Here we go. Nice photo right here.
Hey,
There we go.
That's
I
awesome.
love that clock. That was very,
Very
nice.
Cool. Cool.
Good
Fun
day.
day.
Excellent. So shall we move on?
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
In the center, Ken.
and big shout out to Soder Den, the man. I actually didn't realize we weren't following you. We just followed you on Twitter. Big shout out. He retweeted us. A lot of people reposting this screenshot. So a lot of people excited about Stanley for sure.
Excellent.
Chaz is
So Ben added a lot of figures to his locomotives, and so that ties into what we're doing right now. Happy to share our new figures with you.
I'm sorry, though. Before you reveal anything, did you see Charlie's comment?
I didn't. I saw something flash up, but I didn't see it. What was the
Ken,
comment?
you just had it up. Oh, man. In those exact positions, too. The two of us.
Well, we'll have to think about that one. I don't know.
The icing on the cake would be you two.
Uh,
And Ben. All five of us.
all right, there's a figure pack right there. I like it. So anyway, there's a lot of figures here. Oh, so anyway, so Ben, you added a lot of figures to your models, which I thought was just fantastic. And for people who want to add figures, it's going to help them to add some realism or some extra life to the railways. And we're excited for these introductions as well. So I'm not going to show everything. The narrow gauge personnel, that figure set is actually at the National Train Show in conjunction with the NMRA show that will be held in Long Beach next week. So that figure pack will be on display there. So in no particular order, well, actually there is. I'm going to save the Hat family to last, but here is Farmer Trotter. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to work.
I was gonna say it's so tiny.
I know they're so tiny.
That's
They'll
awesome.
just try and push it close to the camera. Sometimes they'll focus on little things.
I'm afraid it's going to go out of focus.
It probably will.
Yeah. Is that out of focus? Yeah, I think it is already. Is it?
I mean, it's still trying to focus on you. If you put it right up to the lens, it might work, but it's going to be iffy.
All right, I'll try.
That's a little better.
Little bit.
Very cool.
I love the pose.
So yeah, so there's Farmer Trotter, and if you got Farmer Trotter, you of course need a pig. So I'm not going to show you all the pigs, but one will do, I think.
Wow.
Wow.
Just cracks me up.
Yeah. They look prop accurate.
They
And
really
do you
do.
Do you prefer them up close and out of focus, or smaller and in focus, or a little bit of both?
A little bit of
Both.
both.
That's what I was
Okay,
gonna do.
fair enough. All right,
An approximate delivery date or shipping on the figures?
keep your fingers crossed for the end of the year.
Okay.
Yes.
Man.
All right,
It is going to be some Christmas, I tell you.
Yeah.
all right.
Yes,
So
you can.
speaking of farmers, we got Farmer McCall.
Wow.
Cool.
Lovely. I had
There
the
you
G
go.
one years ago.
Yeah, I'm purposely covering up his legs there because we got a painting issue that we got to fix on that. So there's Farmer McCall and Katie. Where's Katie? There she is.
Aw, I
Wow.
never knew the dog had a name.
Cut all out of focus, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
All right. And one sheep. Got to do a sheep too.
Aw.
All right.
It's
That was really nice. You can see the pink in the ears. They look really good.
They'd go really well in a field on a layout, definitely.
And
Absolutely.
Or on the tracks, blocking the train.
All right. Let's go now to just go to the railway personnel.
Yes.
Got a couple figures here.
Over. No.
Oh, there we go.
Out of curiosity, size-wise, how did they compare to Bachmann Thomas, for example, the figures?
I don't have a Thomas with me. I can show you. You mean it just in relation to the Thomas engine?
Well, yeah, just maybe Stanley. Like, how would the height compare with the?
Ben, when
Okay,
we were there, Doug was kind enough to show us one of the figures next to a Thomas, and they scale up perfectly.
Oh, okay. No, I was just.
So I'll try and give you an idea here.
There you go.
You know, they're on a base. You know, obviously I'm covering up the base here too, but and I can't get them to stand up straight. It's too small on my fingers there. But anyway,
That's perfect.
hope that helps with the comparison.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, things are a bit wonky there, but trying to get everything held up straight and the camera working backwards and all that stuff.
Doug, I can't still believe these are actually a thing that you're doing.
I know.
It's amazing.
It's very.
It's a thing, absolutely.
Very cool.
All right, so I'll go.
And it's important to get your orders on the figures too, because you're not even going to just compete with the Thomas fans out there. Everybody is going to want these figures, so they may sell out quicker than most items. So,
and they're very,
cool.
very reasonably priced.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just going to zip through some of these things because I know we're running a little bit late here. Oh. There we go. Figures are going to be huge. I see that. Not too huge. Just right. Just right in scale. All right. Now this is the school teacher and school children. Here she is.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right, I'm going to grab these in succession here. Oh, shoot. Oh, well, there goes which one came in which bag. They're all identified by number. I just picked them all up. I'll have to figure it out later where they all go.
And the bases are removable?
They are.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
All right.
I know that was a question Christian was concerned about.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. You know, the bases make it easier for them to stand on any location of the layout. But then for those of you who are super anal retentive when it comes to realism, you know, you can always use those transparent squares.
And the fact that they did that is it's so nice to have these things that are really more. I don't want to say like I don't know what word to use. Just more very adult, not more in the adult side of the modeling thing. To have that option for Thomas.
Yeah, it's.
Have you got an engine for to put a figure inside, but you need it to stand up somehow?
Yeah.
To have that option, very handy.
Yeah, it's nice if they are like I said, they are removable, and I think might have been somebody on this live stream who said they have to be, so that's what we did.
They look really
all right.
good.
One more. All right, and then last, but certainly not least, is the hat family.
Hey.
Did I just see somebody asking for posable arms and HO scale figures? Oh no! All right, let's
get the Tommy ones, the old Tommy ones. Your sacrifice detail.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we're on to the hat family. Here's Bridget.
They're asking for a Doug figure, Doug.
I would I was gonna say earlier, I would so buy a Doug.
I think it would sell out. Yeah,
it
would.
There's better things to model. All right, there's Bridget. Next is Steven.
A lot of characters. Wow.
I couldn't believe how many you guys did.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this before, but I know this project has taken a long time. But if we did 6 new figure sets, on average 6 figures per set, that's 36. We had to do 4 views for everything, for artwork and engineering. Here's a Dowager hat. So it's 144 views for the project for every step of the way, and it was just a lot of material.
It's definitely paid off though. These look fantastic.
Thank you. All right. Got Lady Hat, and the star of the show is coming up. It's Lady Hat.
Yeah.
All right, now it's time for Sir Topham Hatt himself.
I've always scale figure of Sir Topham Hatt.
This is
All
another
right.
good screenshot. Make sure you guys get those screenshots in of this one and tag Bachmann, tag Train World, and make sure you tag us because we want to follow your account. Dan the man, I didn't even realize we didn't follow you, so we just followed you right now. So I'm sure Bachmann Matt will be doing the same thing tomorrow. So we want to stay connected to everyone out there, all the Thomas fandom. So make sure you tag both Bachmann and Train World for sure.
Sounds good. All right, I have to be careful because this one is already removed from his base. So if he topples over, don't be too surprised.
I love that.
Top 12 topping.
The man himself.
I think ever since
Cool.
kid, I've always wanted like the fact roller Sir Topham Hatt on the layout in some way.
Me
And
too.
to have a scale figure, like it's brilliant.
All right, so there he is without his base. So there we have it, all the figures. I know it's been a long time coming, but I hope you will agree it is worth the wait. So we're anxious to get these out for you. Hopefully, as I said, by the end of the year. There are a few paint issues we're adjusting, but basically they are ready to go.
Fantastic.
Can't wait.
And it's going to be fun to see the official images of these once those are ready.
Oh,
Definitely. So there you have it. That's our show for the night.
All right. Well, now, Doug, they want N scale. So.
Wow, that's a really fine paintbrush. That's all I can say
that's a tall order.
because these are all hand painted. So can you imagine doing that in N scale? Oh boy.
Wow.
Crazy. Very cool. Great job, Doug.
Thank you so much.
If it's okay,
Looking forward.
really quickly, just out of curiosity. So, Doug, one of the characters I really love from the range is Frankie the Crane. I've always loved the way that works, the mechanics.
Mhm.
With that having been done, is there a possibility in the future of a model of Harvey the Crane engine? It's a tank engine, and he's got a crane on top of him, and like the Batman cranky on the side, it's got a cog on, I think, the left-hand side of the crane arm. I'm just wondering, trying to visualize it. If you had the ready, and you had
I'm familiar with Harvey.
Yeah.
And we have looked at it. Unfortunately it's an expensive piece to make, and that's sort of holding us back. But we have looked at it. We're aware of it. But I can't make any promises on it right now. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. No, wanted to check.
So, Doug, just building on that, because I know sometimes people will have the thing in the chat when it comes to the Thomas line, the so-called, what are I always say it wrong, the standards that we discussed before.
Yeah, the NMRA standards.
The
yeah.
NMRA standards, they wouldn't really be a factor on whether or not a product is made in the Thomas line, correct?
No, I mean, if we can abide by all the NMRA standards, we certainly would. but we know that there are certain things in the Thomas line that are not going to be NMRA compliant. And that hasn't stopped us from doing those kind of things in the past. So it's not, they're not mutually exclusive.
Absolutely.
With that bared in mind, is there a possibility then of the character Diesel 10?
I told you, Doug. These are the two. They're the two that are.
Diesel 10 are, again, we're aware of it. The problem is that claw, and it'd be expensive to produce. We would want it to be, have some operability, not necessarily connected with a motor, but there's just a lot going on there, and we're afraid the price point for that would be really high and sort of outside the range of what would be commonly acceptable. We know some people would buy it regardless of the price, but we have to be aware of market limits, and that would be pushing the upper limit pretty hard for pricing.
Okay. Yeah. I did sort of figure that, but yeah, wanted to quickly check.
No, but it's a great character. I mean, I would love to do it, but just our hands are tied on some of these things.
Maybe on the Bachmann forum, you can propose a thing of what they would consider a reasonable cost for an engine like Diesel 10, because he definitely would be expensive, but I really do believe, Doug, that enough people would buy it. They would go crazy.
I would second that. I'll probably try and buy two. No.
Someone did have an idea to make it removable.
I would third it, but no pressure, Doug.
That's possible.
I'm feeling pressure. It's okay. It's all good.
We bothered Doug actually about those. That's why I laughed. We bothered Doug about those two models. Christian brought his Nagayoshi Harvey, and I showed Doug the Bondi Diesel 10, and it's just
yeah,
it's a hard issue.
So no worries. We're happy to hear the ideas, though. Keep them coming.
Thank you. Cheers.
Awesome.
You're welcome.
Great stuff, Doug, and I know everybody's excited for this, and we're also following a bunch more people, and we're resharing a lot of screenshots of tonight. They love Topham hats, so it's a lot of great stuff. A lot of great stuff. And you could head to trainworld.com. We're taking pre-orders on the figures as well as Stanley. So everyone's should be up and loaded, and you could get them in time for Christmas, hopefully. Fingers crossed. And for that nice Christmas present would be pretty cool. Christian, I saw your face. I think you're still taking it in. What do you think?
It's overwhelming, Ken, to say the least. It's a lot. But what I can tell you is I'm very, very, very grateful and excited to see these models in the flesh once they're released, and to place them on the layout, and just to see lots of other people post images of them on social media. It's gonna be a huge success. I can already tell.
It will.
There's a lot of people that we don't follow, which I'm surprised about. So keep on tagging us so we can follow. We just followed Dylan Alexander, so we appreciate you guys tagging both Bachmann and Train World in the Twitter feed. So we appreciate that, and really cool stuff. We're probably going to make Twitter crash tonight with all the Thomas posts. So it's amazing. Really cool stuff.
Make it number one on trending.
That's right. We're going to make Bachmann trains trending for Thomas. Very cool.
Doug, one last question. Is Rebecca due this year as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Fourth quarter again, later in the fourth quarter, but yep, she'll be here.
And
Fantastic.
Doug, maybe next show, and Christian, next show we could do more of because it will be September. Maybe we could do like a update on just like a bunch of products and just where things are at. And it doesn't have to be specific, just a ballpark on just a outline of all the upcoming projects and things that people should pre-order. and things that maybe have just released, so we know what to collect and get. And I think it would be a nice refresher because I see a lot of people asking for updates on this, that. So maybe we could do like a all-in-one show, just a quick refresher, and if there's any updates or not. We'll go down the whole Thomas Bachmann train line, which will probably take several hours because Bachmann is making so many Thomas and Friends items. It's
we'll do the latest and greatest when they're coming. But yeah, that sounds good. That's a great idea.
Absolutely. And Ken, with another product reveal that's going to be shown next month potentially, I don't know if the chat can handle it.
Ooh,
I think the chat can handle it, no problem.
Coming, people.
I like that hashtag. That's a good joke, no pun intended. But I think we should do. Can you handle it with the hashtag for the next September Thomas Tuesday? If it's Tuesday next time, and I think we could pump it out for hashtag Can you handle it with Bachmann Trains and Train World.
Sounds good. Let's see, the first Tuesday, September, that's right after Labor Day.
So.
Wow, okay.
All righty. So shall I wrap things up, Ken?
Yeah, wrap it up.
All right. So first and foremost, Ben, John, you still there?
I am.
Okay.
I'm sorry, my connection is spotty.
Okay, no worries. Thank you so much for presenting this evening, your model work, your love for Thomas, and just the merchandise in general.
It's been brilliant. Thank you, Ken and Christian, for hosting this. Doug, thank you for the awesome engine and figures. They look fantastic. And thank you to everyone watching for all your lovely comments and support. We really appreciate it.
Fantastic. Dog, thank you so much for showcasing the latest and the greatest as far as the next HO Loco Stanley. The chat went crazy over that. And the HO figures, and look, I think I'm just still overwhelmed from the fact that those are even a thing that are happening. So I cannot wait to see those in the flesh, on the layout and just in general. Like I said, it's going to be really, really awesome to see what the fandom does with those.
I agree, and thanks for having me. And it's always a pleasure to share space with Christian, Ken, and Ben. Your presentation was excellent, as well as John's. And anyway, a good live stream, and thank you, everybody. Thanks for everybody for watching.
Thank you.
And last but not least, Ken, welcome back. Thank you so much again for giving me the opportunity to help put these streams together. It's always a great time. It's always a pleasure. And we're going to keep them coming.
Christian, you rock. You're a rock star. And we all appreciate all the hard work you put into this. So thank you, everybody. John, Ben, tremendous tonight. Amazing. Glad to have both of you. I feel like both of you could be narrators for a Thomas the Tank movie. Just really awesome. And Doug, as usual, thank you. And thanks to Bachmann Trains for supporting this video every single month. I mean, Doug is continuing to put his blood, sweat, tears into the Thomas fandom, so we really, truly appreciate it.
A pleasure.
And with that said, keep modeling, and happy Thomas Thursday. Have a great night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, guys.
Hi, I'm Ken Jr.